Hey guys, hope everyone is doing good. So, this is your channel Technology, your daily dose of tech and informative videos. So, in this video, we are going to watch about the features, new features, and the updates that Apple has given us. So I have tried to include as many features as possible in this video practically, and towards the end I have listed out the complete list of features and improvements. Please do feel free to comment and like this video so that it really motivates me to bring in more content. So without any further ado, let's get started. So yes guys, today I am actually having the iOS 14 installed in my one of the oldest devices that I actually have. In fact, I normally when we get the iOS updates, normally we tend to install it in the newer devices, and they are very much formatted and designed to for the newer devices to give you great interface to interact with the devices. So when I was actually thinking, I just thought, why don't I actually update it in my old device and see how exactly it performs. So this video is going to be completely about that. So I have installed the iOS 14 in my old device, which is an iPhone 6s, as you can actually see that I have. And pretty much the first impressions are really great. In fact, Apple does not does not lose always when it comes to their updates and their features and their improvements. Especially they give a lot of priority for privacy. So that's something which is really interesting. Let's get started. So as we know, in fact, the Worldwide Developers Conference was held, and there were a lot of updates and operating system releases that actually happened during this Worldwide Developers Conference. Exactly, as usual, as it keeps supporting, iOS 14 is actually supported from all the devices from iPhone 6s and up, so till the new latest device of iPhone 11 that we have, and iPhone SE, not to forget. So looking into the features, in fact, when it comes to iOS, they actually pretty much give a lot of improvements in terms of how the user interacts with the phone, and a lot of priority for privacy, as I told you guys earlier, and a lot other things which we will actually be looking at right now. The first thing that we are looking at is the widgets. So widgets is something that has been rumored for quite some time, and right now we are really happy to see that widgets are available in iPhone in iOS 14, and they have given a lot of priority to widgets. In fact, they the way how they have the way how they have designed the widgets, and the kind of it is similar to the Android operating system for phones, but it's good that Apple has its own way, its own touch that they normally give to their products when it comes to user interface, and the ease of use is what I would say. So the widgets is the first and most awaited feature that we have received in iOS 14. So as we can actually see, I have installed a few widgets. So all that you need to do is just click on the empty space wherever you see. Let it be here as well, and you can definitely, it will start wiggling as how it normally does, and you can actually click on the plus sign to bring in the widgets section here. And you have a lot of widgets for native apps right now, and I'm pretty sure that once the iOS is released officially, there will be a lot other widgets that all other application developers will be coming up with. And as we can actually see, it is really interesting. So there is something called as a smart stack as well here, which actually stacks all the widgets for us. So based on the usage, based on whatever we use during the day, it automatically stacks the widgets for us. So that's the information that was actually provided to us by the during the keynote. So that's looking very good. And also we have when we actually invoke the widgets app interface, when we can actually see several sizes of it, which which we can actually look into. So we can actually bring in with any size that we are looking at. Just click on add widget and the widget will be added for us here. So that's a good update and a new feature which is welcomed. And the next feature that we can actually see, the most important feature, is the app library or the app drawer, I would say. So here it actually looks, this is actually a feature that we were all waiting for, to be very honest. And it has actually, Apple has actually heard us, and they have given this app drawer or app library option with the new iOS 14. So it actually automatically stacks all the apps with under several folders, which is default, and based on our usage technically. So whenever we click on it, it just brings it up, and it helps us in order to it's all the minor details that we can see. So when we actually see all these small icons, just click on it and it actually opens up the entire folder. But if you want to actually click on the app itself, you just need to click on the larger icon and it automatically takes you inside. So that's a good welcome change. So that's a great feature as well. And the next feature that we are actually seeing is the home controls in the control center. So unfortunately, I don't have a home control available. So I won't be able to show that to you guys, but I can definitely put up the screenshots for that. So there are a lot of home controls that is mentioned in the control center itself here. Where you can easily access your home devices which is connected to your iPhone. So that's another welcome feature. So primarily we can see the iPhone, iOS, Apple mainly concentrates on the ease of use, because normally when we have iPhone, there is a lot of battle that's going on between iPhone users and Android users, even though each one has its own merits and demerits. But one thing that I can definitely tell you is, me being an iPhone user for quite some time right now, I can actually see the difference in terms of the quality of the user interface that we have. It's very, very easy user interface. So it is definitely useful for anyone who actually comes in newly in order to bring up or work or to use any phone. But when it comes to, in fact, I've also used Android, but when it comes to iPhone, the kind of quality that has been given in terms of the user interface, how the apps move in and move out, and you actually get a rich user interface UI when it comes to iOS than to Android. Again, it's subjective. I know people have their own voices, so definitely it is definitely subjective. Do let me know in the comments section as to what user you are, and what do you like the most about iOS, in case if you're an iPhone user or an Android user, as to what exactly you like about Android. So next feature that we are actually seeing is the picture-in-picture. This is also the most expected feature. In fact, again, it has already been with Android all for ages, and also iPhone users, they normally jailbreak their devices in order to get in all these type of features. But now Apple has actually given us natively within iOS itself, so there is no need for us to jailbreak the operating system. So picture-in-picture is something that we know that we have been seeing, so that is actually enabled. One thing is that it is not picture-in-picture is not enabled in iPhone 6s, because I actually tried doing it, but it did not come. But I'm pretty sure that it would have been enabled in the newest phones, the latest phones. So it's nothing but no matter whatever app, whatever the videos that you're seeing, you just click on it and you can actually keep doing the other work simultaneously with a small widget kind of preview of whatever you're watching. So that's picture in picture for us. Mostly the updates have been done using for Siri. So right now you can actually see this. Hey Siri. So as you can actually see, there is a small like a crystal ball that is actually coming up, which is a new Siri that we are seeing. The Siri is not only new and updated, it is smart as well, because now they have actually improved the complexity of the questions that you can actually ask to Siri and that it can actually answer. So that's a major update that has actually come. One of the best updates that I like in this iOS is the new caller user interface. So that is a best update that I actually like in this newest iOS. The new caller user interface, Apple calls it as compact calls, and it exactly works this way. So whenever someone is trying to reach you, it doesn't obstruct your full screen. It just comes on top. If you wish to pick it, you can pick it, or if you wish to make them wait, you can just swipe it on top, and there will be a small indication right on top saying that the caller is still waiting. If you want to pick it up, you can just tap it and then you can attend the call. So this is a great feature that is very welcomed for this iOS 14. In fact, this is a feature that everyone was waiting for this long, and finally we have received it. Thank you, Apple. So the next feature that is not really mentioned, but something that I have actually found out from the snapshots and all that they actually showed on the screen, was the default browser and email. This is coming across iOS and iPadOS, which the other operating systems I will definitely try to cover them separately in separate videos, because I'm actually trying to keep the features for iOS alone in this video. So it is nothing but a feature where you actually get to choose your default browser and default email app for your iPhone or your Apple product. So that's another feature that has been added. Another feature along with that, which is pretty much welcome, is the translate feature. Now this translate feature it also works offline as well. It does not really need internet connection, so it is pretty accurate. In fact, I actually did try few French sentences as well. For example, let us try a quick sentence. Comment allez-vous? Great, that's pretty accurate. So this is very simple, but there are much more elaborate translations as well that we can definitely try, but this is one of the welcome feature as well, which is like in your device itself. So that's something that they did mention, that all the app and all the processing, they will try to keep it with our device itself, minimizing the connectivity with the outside world. So this is the Translate app is also something which is available with Safari as well. One more thing that I actually wanted to say is regarding the conversation mode also. So if you are actually stuck in a different, in fact there are few default languages that are actually available. I hope mostly the language selection gets extended as well. It is spread, or it is actually done for other languages as well. But major languages are covered in this at the moment. So there is a conversation mode where you can use, where you can automatically use the Translate app in order to translate things and then read it out to the other person, so that they can actually help you in regards to your questions in your native language. So these are the languages which are primarily available, and these are offline languages. You can definitely choose to download them and keep them, so that you can actually use it as an offline mode, as I mentioned it earlier. So in Safari there are a few more updates and improvements that has actually been provided. The new feature that is actually added is the tracking report. So this gives you the website based tracking report, and also the trackers, whoever has actually tried to track you using those websites when you actually try to log into them. So that's the tracking report. For the home app, there are a lot of improvements and features that they have actually added. For example, they've added something called as activity zones for any cameras that you have. In fact, one thing that they mentioned was they have tie-up with several companies who actually manufacture and do the home devices. Basically internet devices, lights and cameras and everything, which you can actually use along with iOS enabled devices basically. And using that, there's a feature called activity zone where if you can actually set a specific activity in your camera, and if anyone actually comes in that, then you would automatically get an alert. There is also something called as a face recognition. Automatically this pops up if your device is connected to Apple TV, then it automatically comes up in your Apple TV as well when you're watching your favorite shows. You can also call in. Basically, you can just ask Siri to, in case if you use a HomePod or your iPhone, any Siri enabled device, you can just call in and ask Siri to show up the status of the cameras or anything like that. So that's the big improvement that has actually been provided. So the next feature is car keys and CarPlay. So they have actually given a refreshed design for the CarPlay app. So all the cars which actually has CarPlay enabled, they actually get a new feature of changing their wallpapers in CarPlay app. And also there are 3 new applications that are actually available, basically, which are like, if for an electrical vehicle, you can check the EV charging capability. There is also an app which is used to order food and drinks on the way, wherever you can actually quickly stop. So they are the major applications that are actually included basically. Now one more thing is that they have introduced something called as car keys. So car keys is nothing but an NFC enabled car key that your iPhone would carry. Now this is going to be introduced only in BMW series, which is series 5, and from 2021 or 2022 year model. So car keys would be in the wallet. So you also have an ability of sharing your car keys to the ones that you love, and they can also use the car keys in order to open and operate the car that you have. So that's a great feature as well. And again, it is a feature which will be implemented a little later, and it's going to take some time in order for them to actually come up with the car keys. So the next feature that is included is something called as app clips. So app clips is nothing but just a smaller version of the actual app itself, which does not require you to launch the app, but using NFC enabled, you can actually launch the app automatically with by scanning a QR code or anything at all in order to get the work done right at that time. I'm sure that this is also going to take some time to be implemented, but it's actually a very good feature that is included in iOS 14. The reason is because there is no need for you to go searching for the app, because if you're a person like me, you would have tons of apps downloaded on your phone, and you might lose track in terms of where exactly that app is available. But with app clips, you you can definitely go ahead and just scan the code, or tap it near to the NFC enabled app clips logo, as how they show it in the website, and you can definitely launch the app to get the work done. So there is a great update with the Apple Maps as well. Again, I'm not a person who will actually use Apple Maps at this point of time, because I feel that it needs to be more improved. But there are actually great features in Apple Maps as well, like cycling directions. You actually get the best direction to actually go through cycle. It also gives you information about streets and cycle stairs and steep passages and all that, elevation as well. So that is a great welcome change. We can also see that there is a separate information in Maps itself that provides about electric vehicle routing. So this is nothing but they were actually mentioning that if you choose electric EV routing, then it actually gives you the best route, as well as where exactly you are supposed to stop and charge in order to keep going. So that's a great change as well. And also they have included something called as guides, so which actually gives you like several guides in terms of visiting several places, or nearest shops where you can actually eat, basically about exploring things. So that's the major update with Maps. So with iOS 14, they have a complete redesigned the Messages app as well. So they have added a few notable features, basically something called a pinned conversation, where you can actually pin it so that you will actually see the conversation right on top, as how it is shown in this video. There is also called as group photos, where they are actually grouping all the photos together along with their emojis. So that's actually a good change as well. There is also an added feature called as mentions. In fact, this is something which is already there if you're using WhatsApp or other messaging apps. So this is similar to that, called mentions. And there is also something called as inline replies, where you can reply privately in a group conversation to someone that you would specifically want to reply. So that's actually a great feature as well. We can also see that they have included a lot more memojis. They are giving a lot of importance to memojis, and a few more faces, and a few more styles, and few emotions as well. One more thing also that I actually wanted to bring it to your notice is that about emoji picker. So there is also a place where they have actually included, where when you're actually typing, you can pick the emojis as well. All the recently used emojis will actually be displayed on top, or there is also a search bar where you can automatically search for the recently used emojis. So that's a great change as well. So the last feature that I wanted to talk about is a feature called as wind down. So that's nothing but a sleep tracking feature, which actually helps you to get a better sleep. So that can be accessed from clock if you haven't set up. So it's before it is called as bedtime, now it is called as sleep. So you just need to click on set it up, and click on next, set the goal, and set your schedules, and then enable sleep mode. So this is what the sleep mode is. So what happens is that it actually winds down everything. The time when you actually set it to activate, it gets activated automatically. So it will actually turn on do not disturb. It will reduce the interruptions, and all that would actually happen, which helps you to get a better sleep in the night. And also consistently, when you are actually sleeping and getting up at the same time, it emphasizes that you actually get to work and be better, just because you have actually got enough sleep. So this is called as wind down, as I mentioned. So it is like just a few minutes before your sleep time. If you actually put this wind down, it will automatically slowly start winding down things for you, limiting all your the notifications that you're receiving and all that. So that's the basic concept that this this is actually set it up for. So this is also a good welcome change that is actually available. In fact, I have been using bedtime before. So bedtime, immediately it shuts off everything, and actually it just gives you a notification before 15 minutes that it's time for you to go to bed. But wind down, I'm pretty sure that it's going to take some time, the time that you actually set, in order to prepare you for the sleep, in order to get a better sleep. So that's a good feature as well. So overall, I have installed this in iPhone 6s, as I mentioned, and in fact I have also installed other operating systems before, iOS versions before, and they used to be a bit laggy when the developer beta arrives on day one. But surprisingly, this is not that laggy. It is quite stable than I expected. So in case if anyone wants to try it, if you guys like and share my video, I can definitely make a video on how to install this developer beta as soon as you get it, and try it for yourself, and how to roll back to your old iOS as well. So if that's something that you guys want to see, please do comment, please do like, so that I can actually it motivates me to make that video as well. So few other minor changes that I actually saw. They are very, very minor changes. These are the major changes that we have actually seen, that I actually have listed down. I also did read about a minor change where in the accessibility setting, you have an option of, in the latest version of phones that I'm talking about, iPhones, you have an option of selecting as to what desired action you want when you tap your phone at the back. So whether it is 2 taps or 3 taps, you can actually activate a desired action. So that's a feature that it's like a small perks that Apple gives you in order to enjoy your new operating system. So that's a welcome change as well. I also read few minor changes, that one feature, kind of a shortcut that I actually wanted to share it with you guys, is regarding, in case if you actually get lost in any of the menus basically, then you have an option of touching and holding the link on top, and then you can definitely get back. So it is similar to this. So say for example, if you're lost all the way down, and you do not know where exactly you are, so you can definitely touch and hold it, so that it actually give you option in order to go back to the settings. So that's another minor change that I actually saw. So there are so many other changes, so I will definitely try my best in order to mention them in the description box down below. So do go ahead and check it out. I would really appreciate if you can give a thumbs up for this video, and share and subscribe to my channel, so that you will be notified about any videos that I actually upload immediately. And do hit the bell icon that you see next to the subscribe button. This really helps me and motivates me in order to do more contents like this one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your patience as well. So I'll meet you guys in the next video with a great content as well. And please do not forget to let me know in case if you want to see how to install developer beta and how to roll back to the iOS version that you have. Do comment and do let me know, so that I can actually do that video as well for you guys. Thank you, and see you soon.